Okay, so I've got a question for you guys. Jordan 3s or Jordan 12s? Both of these shoes we're going to do in this episode today are Galaxy designs, one of my signature designs, and they are both available on my website for purchase. That's where these two orders came from, and I thought it would be cool to show you guys exactly what you get when you order one of these, right? How do I make them? Now, this video is going to be a little bit shorter than our standard full custom video, and that's just because I wanted to kind of show you guys that there's value in some of these other customs that aren't kind of the most intricate, like 8-character portrait, customs, the craziest thing I could throw in a shoe, right? Like, I do a lot of customs, right? And I want to keep this channel active with as much custom paint work as I can give you. So I figure, why don't you take a look at these two and let me know which one you like better? That's the question of the day. Which one would you take home? So we're going to do this one showcase style, and I'll talk to you guys about the design a little bit when I have the shoe in hand at the end of the episode. See you then. So today we're going to be starting with two different pairs of Jordans, right? So I'll let you guys kind of pick whatever silhouettes you guys want to use when you go on the website and order a Galaxy pair of Jordans. Now, one of the important things when you do this is I let you know, depending upon the year, the year, the time of the season, what shoes are available in stores, which ones have just released, which ones have released, recently enough that they're still cheap enough to get for a base shoe and won't cost my customer an arm and a leg on top of what they're already ordering, right? Especially when I'll give you an order with a set price on my website, I've got to be able to source the shoe at a consistent price point, right? So it's usually got to be kind of whatever's retail available in that shoe style or the most recent retail version of that shoe style. So that means that the colorway itself might change every now and again. Sometimes we'll be using green glow Jordan 3s as a base, and sometimes we won't. So I always like to give myself that wiggle room to be able to utilize the base shoe that I have in front of me at the time of making the shoe the best way I can and make sure that the colorway of the Galaxy itself actually goes with the design of the shoe, the original design of the shoe itself, to make sure it gives you the cleanest final possible product, right? Also, it makes it so that every shoe is still unique. Even if you order a Galaxy pair of shoes, you're not going to get the same thing as the last person that ordered them, unless you ordered them like literally the same day or something, and then maybe you might get the same sort of version, but it's impossible for me to actually duplicate the Galaxy down to a T every single shoe and make every single one the exact same. It's just impossible just based on the nature of how I do them. Stuff will always be different. Each one will be unique, but you'll always know you have a Serato Galaxy. So first I'm going to start, as usual, by delacing and prepping the shoe itself with acetones, adhesion promoters, and of course, masking off parts that I want to keep clean on these shoes. For the Jordan 3s, are going to have a lot more masking to do than the 12s, just because the only part I want to keep the same on the 12s is the actual white midsole patterns that you see on the shoe itself, but the rest of it's pretty much going to get painted over, so it's a pretty light taping job for the Jordan 12s. But for the Jordan 3s, it's a little bit more extensive, as I want to make sure I keep certain patterns clean for now, and then certain panels I'm going to remove the masking for later to finish that Galaxy off. I'm going to be doing it kind of in a two-tone Galaxy part here, using the black of the shoe itself to kind of accentuate how I do the Galaxy, and add to that kind of cohesion of the theme in the base shoe itself, kind of coming together into one piece. I also want to leave my elephant print and whatnot. I feel like that's one of the most iconic parts of any Jordan 3 is the elephant print. And if you have that on a shoe, you need to keep it on the shoe the way it is, because it's just that good by itself. I'm going to start with a base coat of white and then transition into the rest of the colors that are going to make up my background layer on my Galaxy design. A nice sort of rainbow fade is what we're going for. take my stencils, start laying down some other background patterns to kind of blend everything together and make all the colors kind of flow even better. And then we're going to start on our star patterns. I like to keep the galaxy patterns nice and bright, but also have at least some really dark pockets of black in there somewhere for contrast. Gotta have that contrast. It's really important even for designs like this. The brights aren't as bright if they aren't next to something really, really dark. I'm going to use my airbrush to create splatter effects, and I'm also going to use the air pressure to create a nice shimmer and halo effect around the stars that I choose around the shoe. I'm going to space them out as good as I can, and also to kind of prep the areas where I'm going to start laying down my lightning patterns, which really tie the painted part of the shoe and the masked off part of the shoe together for me. That's what I like to use the lightning for the best anyway. Then I'm going to finish off my final details with the paintbrush here. I'm going to go in and detail out stuff up. I'm going to clean up any paint that might have gotten in some erroneous areas that I did not want. Anything that was left when the tape came off, I'm going to go back in and do my double checks. You know, I'm going to flip upside down, around, and back and around and over a million times to make sure I see every little angle on the shoe and I get everything I can so that the quality is as good as it can be before I hand it off. And then it's time for the final look. All right, so now I can really give you guys a good look at these, right? I've got two really interesting customs here. I've got two really nice Galaxy designs. Both of these were ordered about the same time. As you can see, even though these are the exact same order, you can see you get two different takes on it, basically. You get two different silhouettes, but I keep the base design of it pretty similar. But on this one, I felt like I really liked the green glow. I really liked that seafoam. I like that gray suede, and I just did not want to affect that on these shoes. I feel like it really gives them a full, like, it really gives them that cement feel. It makes you realize that this is like almost like a colorway that dropped. That's how I want it to look like, right? So just one with that, one with a little bit of the negative black trim. You know, I wanted to use that to go along with the design. I thought about maybe even continuing that all the way around the sides here, but I feel like it makes it look more like an actual colorway if you don't. Now, the Jordan 12s are a little bit more of an interesting design, but basically these gray and whites, I just wanted that design, you know, to kind of capture the entire upper kind of like it would on a standard colorway, but then have the lightning kind of tie everything else together. And I just felt like it came out really, really nice. Came out really clean on these. It's a little bit of a brighter look, brighter take on a Jordan 12, and I just wanted to keep that, you know, to keep that default trim back here so you can get that nice Jordan logos and everything on there nice and clean. Did go through and do all the tongue logos and everything else individually by hand. So yeah, it came out really cool. Again, nice little different take on a Galaxy, and when you order them, this is what you get. I appreciate you guys watching and checking it out. If you enjoyed that, hit the like button for me. It really helps out the videos. Comment something down below. Seriously, that's the best. And my favorite part is when you guys comment and I can go and see exactly what you guys are thinking. I can respond to as many people as I can as soon as I see it. Trying to keep this channel really alive and really active. Rebuild that community base that we had. Tune in for me, talk to me, chat it up with me. Next episode, we're going to be doing a sneaker custom review, our first in-person review of another customizer's work. Shout out to my guy, Savant Customs. I'm going to give you a sneak peek of that here, so stay tuned, and I'll see you guys next episode. All right. to go over exactly what my guy needs to do to keep on elevate and keep on growing and learning and doing what he's doing. But he's got a great start already got the business rolling. A custom artist is much more scrutinized than a standard pair of shoes, right? Like, was this worth giving this person my money or not, right? Boom, you can see the inside, see the outside. Mistakes that weren't covered and weren't finalized. You got to get in there and clean all that stuff out. This stuff here around the edge of an Air Force One